afternoon, everyone. This is The Coin, your once daily Bitcoin roundup. My name is Justin Holtz with Holtz Enterprises, and today we're doing our second episode. Not quite the day after the first, but we had some technical issues, so thanks for bearing with us. So today we're going to be giving you a little bit of a market overview, cover a couple of the news topics of the day, and give you a little bit of an update on some of the stuff we're working on. So let's get started. If you haven't heard of the site, BitcoinWatch.com, highly recommend it. It gives you a summary of pretty much everything that's going on with Bitcoin. News topics at the top, economy summaries on the left, hash rate distributions, network graphs, exchange rates, you name it, it's all here. So this is probably one of my go-to sites when it comes to Bitcoin. The guy that runs the site also does a bit of a technical analysis. Used to be a fairly daily thing, but he decided to turn it to a paid service, so it's really whenever he decides to disclose some information for free that you get some. But for a while now, he's been predicting a bit of an upward swing in the market. I'd have to agree with him. If you look over a long period of time, you notice a bit of a cyclical trend. The rate goes up, stagnates for a while, goes down a little bit, and then just bounces right back up again. So hopefully we'll see that again in the near future. I'm hoping the prices can go above 15 at some point in the next couple of weeks. Anyways, let's get on to some of the news topics of the day. If you visit the site hackaday.com, probably notice there's a bit of a story on Bitcoin mining, in particular FPGA mining. For those of you that don't know, when Bitcoin initially started out, people were using CPUs. Then people figured out how to use GPUs for general processing. The only problem with that is these GPUs use a lot of power, they generate a lot of heat, and because of that, you need a lot of fans, which make a lot of noise. So really, FPGA mining is the next necessary step. For one, they use very little power, they're very specific at what they do, so they'll be very good at mining Bitcoin. And the only problem at the moment is they're not mass-produced, so they cost a lot of money. So hopefully in the near future we'll be seeing these become the mainstay, but at the moment GPUs are where it's at. So that's always interesting, good to keep up on. So next on our list, I think I mentioned it last episode, but there was a car or something someone was trying to sell for Bitcoin. Just recently I was reading this though, a guy named Paul, he gives a whole bunch of his resume, real estate broker, California attorney, the list goes on. But basically, within the last month, he helped a buyer and seller basically sell a house for Bitcoin, 45,000 Bitcoin to be exact. But as far as I know, probably one of the biggest exchanges I've ever seen, which is great. It shows that the economy is starting to prosper and people are starting to use it, so that's always good. Next, for those of you keeping up with Bitcoin exchanges, there's a new one in the mix called CampBX. I guess their goal is to be as professional, secure, and local as possible. They're based here in the U.S. They're checked by McAfee, and as far as I know, probably one of the most professional-looking sites I've seen when it comes to an exchange, which is good. The more there are, the better. Lots of competition is good. Next, just recently from Symantec, there was a Trojan called CoinBits Miner, which basically used people's CPUs to generate Bitcoin. But as you probably know, CPUs are very slow and they don't generate all that much Bitcoin. So it hasn't really become much of an issue. But just recently they discovered a new Trojan called BadMiner, which basically, once on your computer, it detects whether you have a CPU, a GPU, whichever is more powerful, and starts using it. So basically, they're stealing your power and generating Bitcoin, because your GPUs use a lot of power and they use a lot of heat. So that's never good. But the good thing is, it's being detected by antivirus companies, and they're guaranteed are making signatures for it. So hopefully they'll crack down on it enough that it won't become an issue. But it's always something to keep an eye on. So that's always, yeah. Anyways, I think that's all the news I wanted to cover. Some of the new things we're working on, I actually just snagged the domain for this, getblocks.org. Nothing up there yet, but I found that I was very frustrated whenever my Bitcoin client got corrupted for whatever reason. I'd have to go and download the entire blockchain again. Very frustrating, takes several hours if you've got a good connection. Anyways, this new site that I'm setting up will basically have the latest blockchain and allow you to download, an archive of the latest, blockchain. So if your client gets corrupted or your block 0001.dat gets deleted for whatever reason, you won't have to just sit there and wait for all your transactions to get reconfirmed. You can just download the new file and you're good to go. But yeah, I think that's the only other thing I really wanted to talk about. As far as contacting me, still looking for advertisers, donations, anything's good. HoltzEnterprises.com is where you can go to see new information that stuff we're doing. Holtz Enterprises on Twitter, as well as Facebook, at Holtz Enterprises, and my email, jholtz@holtzenterprises.com. And yeah, I guess I'll see you tomorrow.